Welcome back, everybody. In this video, our focus will be lesson number 11. Lesson number 11 is simply reinforcing the notes you learned back in lesson number 9, namely G, A, B, C, and D. Now, what I would like to add to this lesson is something that I think you will all enjoy learning about and perhaps utilizing in your playing as soon as this video is done. Especially if you can already play the guitar and you already can play chords, but you're simply here to learn how to play classical, or you're learning how to read the notes themselves. Now, with lesson number 11, again, because it's simple, this is a great opportunity to show you something that shouldn't trouble you to add. Just like in lesson 10, where we learned about relaxing and releasing the tension from our shoulders, our hands, our elbow. In this lesson, I want to go over with you something called tosto and ponticello. Tosto, which is spelled T-A-S-T-O, simply means that you're going to play the strings or the notes wherever the music tells you to play. You're going to play close to the fretboard. And you'll notice that the sound is very warm and round, more mellow than if you were to play somewhere in the middle of or near the sound hole, towards the end of the sound hole. It sounds different, all right, and that's really important. The other location that you can play is going to be near the bridge, and we call this ponticello, P-O-N-T-I-C-E-L-L-O. And this one sounds very bright, very brittle, very harsh, as opposed to playing tosto. All right, and this is something that I'd like you to use and apply in lesson number 11. So we're going to play lesson 11 together. Get your notes down, get them, familiarize yourself with the notes if you haven't done that yet. And let's play through lesson 11, of course, making sure we are alternating, always alternating. And we're going to play tosto, and it's going to sound nice and mellow. Let's try that together on the count of 4. Lesson 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, and G, A, B, C, D, C, B, A, G. 2, 3, 4, and stop. Easy enough, right? You get a nice, warm, mellow sound when you play tosto. Now let's do it again, and this time we're going to play ponticello. 1, 2, 3, 4, and G, A, B, C, D, C, B, A, G. 2, 3, 4, and stop. Utilizing both tosto and ponticello in pieces that you learn in the future is going to make your performance that much better than the other person that is perhaps playing the same piece. So once you gain really strong control over the tosto and ponticello playing, it's going to give your performances more depth, more layers, and overall just make your performances better, I guess, is what I'm really trying to say. Now, one thing to note, when you play tosto, in other words, near the fretboard, there isn't a lot of resistance. There isn't a lot of pushback from the strings. You can play up here fairly easily. But as you start to move down and you get to your ponticello, you're going to start to notice there's a lot of resistance over by the bridge, which is going to cause you to need to play with a bit more force to get that ponticello to come out and come across. So that's something to be aware of. When you play ponticello, you are going to have to give yourself just more force behind the notes that you're playing. What's really cool is, if you noticed, you can use this technique as a type of filter, kind of like what you hear in EDM music. You get filters that emphasize specific frequencies. we can do the same thing with this tasto and ponticello. For example, okay, very much like a filter technique that, again, a lot of electronic musicians like to use in their playing to create tension. And this is exactly what we're doing. We're using this technique, ponticello and tasto, to create either a sense of tension or a sense of calm and soothing. All right? So let's play this one last time, and this time let's try going. We're gonna play lesson 11 twice. We're gonna repeat it. On the first time through, we're gonna go from tasto to ponticello, and on the second time through, we're gonna go from ponticello back to tasto. Now, as you do this, you want to make sure you don't move your wrist or your hand. You move instead your arm. Let me just do this quickly so you can see. You move everything as a unit. See how I didn't change my hand? I changed my arm position, but everything moved as a single unit. I'll show you one more time. And then backwards, or back to tasto. Something to keep in mind as you play this last time through. All right, so here we go. Lesson 11, one more time. I will say the notes, and we will go the first time, like I said, all the way ponticello. We're going to repeat all the way back to tasto. The last note, by the way, we are not going to play the G as a whole note. That last measure is going to be replaced with the first measure. Hopefully that makes sense. If not, you'll pick up on it rather quickly. On the count of 4, lesson 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, and G, A, B, C, D, C, B, A, G, A, B, C, D, C, B, A, G. 2, 3, 4, and stop. Now, if you were to couple this technique with dynamics, which we'll go over in another video, it becomes very, very effective in your performances, and the audience and the people that are listening to you will appreciate it. And they won't know why your performances sound so good, so emotional, I guess you could say. But part of the reason will be because of those two techniques combined together. Tasto to ponticello with the dynamics, playing loud and then playing soft. But we'll go over that in a video in the future. Good luck, and I'll see all of you in lesson number 12.